Hey guys, Borox here, and today I'm bringing you a mod review. The mod being Middle Ages mod. It's a very nifty mod that adds a whole bunch of new, well, quite a few new items to the game that doesn't change the game too much, but it adds some new really cool aspects to it, which I really like in mods. As you can see here, it adds haystacks, and the two things you can see here are haystacks and bandit hideouts. The bandit hideouts are all the same. They each contain an empty double chest, a disc player, CD player, and jukebox is the actual word, and a crafting table. And then there you can see is the new castle stone, which is very common. You can find it generated throughout the world, and you use it to make castle rock and castle stone and castle walls that we'll go over later. And it also adds an ore rock randomly generated throughout the world, which when mined gives you a random gem that you can use for crafting. But here, let's go over all the blocks, the new blocks and items it adds in the game. Some weapons, armor, runes, which we'll go over, and some crafting, basically just random utility blocks. But now we'll go over the new weapons this mod adds and how to craft them. Putting ingots and a stick together like this will give you a scimitar. Putting them in this formation will give you a halberd. Very cool. And then over here, putting them like this will give you a battle axe, a warhammer, and last but not least, putting two sticks together on top of each other will give you a spear handle, and then sticking your ingot on top of the spear handle will give you a spear, excuse me. And of course, you can make these weapons out of any material you'd like. And let's take a look at the armor this mod adds. It utilizes gold and iron ingots in a normal armor crafting fashion. Here you can see the chest piece. This is all called the knight armor, by the way. Here, there's the helmet. Here are the boots. And here are the leggings. Overall, I'll show you how the armor looks. The tooltip for it, the little icon looks really cool. But to me, once I get out here, you can see it kind of looks just kind of rugged looking. It could be a lot better in my opinion. Overall, it is the equivalent of iron armor. It's just a little cheaper depending on how you value gold. And here's the king sword. It is just a normal diamond sword, but you add 2 iron ingots to the side, and it is just slightly better. So here we test out how much damage each weapon does by simply spawning a certificate, hitting it once with the weapon, and then punching it, counting how many hits it takes, and then determining how much damage the weapon did. So I determined the king sword does 8 damage, while a normal diamond sword does 7. So the king sword is very slightly better. But then, strangely enough, all the new weapons added this game do the same amount of damage, regardless of what weapon they actually are, as long as they're in the same quality. So like a diamond, scimitar, spear, and warhammer will all do 7 hearts of damage, regardless that the warhammer took 4 more diamonds to make than the spear. But so then dropping down to iron, they'll all do 6 hearts of damage, and then the stone, they'll all do 5. And copper is the equivalent of stone in this mod, just more rare, doing 5 hearts of damage as well. And then wood and gold each do 4 for all these new weapons. That could be a bug, I don't know. Only time will tell. And now let's go over some of the new building blocks this mod adds. It adds castle rock, and then you can smelt the castle rock into castle stone, which is a very, very cool stone block that can add a whole bunch of new options for your castle building or structures regardless. So you take castle stone and you put it right side by side like that, and it'll give you a castle wall, and when you place castle wall down, it looks like that, just a normal block with the spires on top. And now let's head over to copper ore. By smelting copper ore, much like you find iron ore, it's about as rare as well. You can smelt it into iron copper ingots and use it as you please. So now let's head into here, and putting 2 iron ingots next to each other over a bit of glass will give you the new reinforced glass, which is very cool looking. And of course there's the drawbridge block, which you make by putting a square of iron ingots and layering the corners with wood. Very cool. It doesn't operate or do anything, it's just inflammable. And one of my favorites, we have the deployable tent block. By putting two strings next to each other, you can get cloth, and then by layering the cloth up in between stone, you can get the deployable tent block, which does this. It's awesome. You can deploys that every time, has no contact, so no matter where you are, you can plop that down, and it comes with your own little tent and crafting bench, makeshift home. And then up next we have the prayer block, which will heal you when you're damaged, even though it does make the damaging sound. There's just no way they could change, modder could change that. So let's jump into some lava here. I want to burn to death. Water. And then we'll head back inside and see how it heals us. So by coming into contact with it, it doesn't actually heal you right now. What's going on right now is I'm in peaceful, so let's change that. Hard, and we'll run into it. But you'll see it doesn't actually replenish any of my health. So it's probably bugged right now. Who knows? But here's how you make that. Whole circle of iron planks with a diamond in the middle and redstone underneath will give you one prayer block, which I hope to be fixed in the future because it is a very cool idea. And then if we head up here, you can see the gem ore, which when mined will give you one of those 4 randomly. And when you mine it out, you can use those gems, putting them next to each other to give you a destruction using the amethyst. And then if you head into here with a sapphire, putting next to sand on top of a glass block, it'll give you the water gem. All of these gems do something different, which I'll get into a little later. And then you have the ruby, it gives you the fire charm. And what the fire charm does is whenever you right click somewhere, it acts as a prolonged flint and steel, lighting whatever you clicked on fire. Each one has unique use like that. And then we have the emerald next to 2 blocks, and on top of it will give you the nature charm. And the nature charm will sprout leaves, kind of like bone meal, wherever you click. It also speeds up wheat growth. But here we have the destruction and water runes. The destruction rune will destroy any block you click on instantly. Right now I'm in creative mode, so that doesn't count. And the water rune will act as an infinite bucket, but currently it's bugged and none of the runes actually work. So hopefully we'll see a fix for that coming soon. And then we have the lantern, the fairly expensive, and it is mainly just a cosmetic item. Because if I can get to a dark place here, I can show you why. This'll do. So if we plop this down, you can tell it doesn't give off much light. So make some more room, but compared to a torch, it's useless. And then if we head up here, we can see there's a little bug right now where no matter which way you're facing when you place these stone castle walls, and they'll all be facing the same way. Same thing with the prayer block, drawbridge, and the tents. No matter what you do, they're always facing one way. Alright, well that's the whole mod. Overall review, I loved it a lot. Could use some polishing, some bug fixes here and there, but overall, it does exactly what I like mods doing. It adds a new uniqueness, just a little more to the game than that's already there, and it doesn't do too much major changes. But if you're still watching, maybe I've earned a like from you, maybe even a subscription. Anything, I promise it would be well appreciated. But really, just thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope I'll see you next video.